Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do my very first Hunter x Hunter 2011 anime review. That's right. And this is going to be episode 43 review of the Hunter x Hunter anime. So, what I will say is that with every episode review that I do, look down below for the Facebook fan page and look down below for the actual episode of Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 43, all in the link down below. So that being said, this episode of Hunter x Hunter was very, very good. I mean, I am so happy that I caught up this week because episode 43 was crazy. Uvogin? Whoa. Uvogin, I mean, yo, it was just crazy. Like, the guy went in there, he said, fuck this shit. You guys have nothing on me. He caught a bullet between his teeth. I mean, one of the best parts, in my opinion, was when the sniper had his scope and Uvogin got shot in the head. The shit bounced off. Uvogin grabbed the rock and he pegged it at that guy. Went right through his skull. I was like, oh, like, yes, accuracy, speed, power, finesse, all that shit in one crazy ass body. Yeah, come on. Oh yeah, and when he blocked the bazooka, when he blocked the fucking bazooka, and the guy's like, yeah, man, like, this thing can take out a tank, and Uvogin's like, that's sad. Comparing me to a tank, I was like, woo! Yeah, good shit. But yeah, so let me just dive right in with the actual summary. Oh yeah, no, wait, one more thing. Tomorrow I will do a comparison with the original Hunter x Hunter anime, excluding the OVAs, and this current episode, or this current anime of the Hunter x Hunter 2011 version. I will do a comparison between the two. So that being said, let's get started. This episode starts off very strong. We see the groups being assigned by the leader of the Nosferatu's family, the bodyguard, and we see, all I know is that Bishe and the other two guys, they were sent to they were sent to place the bids in. We have Kurapika and Melody. They're watching the auction building from afar. And then we have, Basho and the Asian guy, I'm not too sure where they went. I'm not too sure, but not really important. What happens is that Bishe and the guy with the curly the guy with the curly sideburns and the other bodyguard, they go in there. They're gonna place their bids. But what happens is that as they walk into the auditorium and they take their seats, Phaeton and Franklin from the Phantom Troop, they walk in with suits on, posing as the auctioneers. But what happens is that Phaeton, he's like, well, I'm gonna skip the formalities, and then Franklin takes out his machine guns. He starts firing. He's like, die. Starts firing at everybody, and people are just falling down like flies. It's not even funny. And the one guy with the balloons, he tries to block that shit. That shit does not work at all. He is pathetic. He gets shot right to the skull. He is dead. And then Bishe and the other guy, they blitz out of there. And the other guy's like, yo, Bishe, go inform the... No, he couldn't say it. Why? Because Shizuku with her vacuum blinky, she said, fuck it. Fuck that shit. She took the vacuum, bashed his head in, and then Bishe, she is so scared, she blazes the fuck out of there, but nah, not quick enough. I mean, like, and the way the animation depicted this scene, it was very good. Because we see Bishe and it's slow motion, and we hear the OST, and it's kind of like, like holiest opera, kind of like church music in a sense. But like we hear it, and it magnifies the moment, and she's just running in slow motion. Her eyes start going up, and then all of a sudden, Shizuku just said, "Fuck you," and bashes her head in. I was like, "Fuck, man!" She falls down to the ground dead. And the thing about Togashi that you gotta respect is that he has no qualms killing off characters that we may or may not like. He has no qualms with that. He has no qualms with that. He will kill off fuckers just for the fun of it, man. I mean, I was like, oh, yo. Oh, man. If you guys read the manga, there is one guy he kills during that Chimera Ant arc. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's like, what the fuck, bro? Are you serious? Did you just kill him? Like, really? Oh, man. Oh, man. Yo, yeah! Alright, no. Deviate. And basically what happens is that after that, Shizuku, she goes back inside the auditorium, and there is a massive pool of blood. It's like, what the fuck? A massive pool of blood, and then Phaeton tells her, you know, well, like, now it's your turn, and then she tells her vacuum Blinky to suck up all the blood, bodies, and chairs, which she does, and then one guy's still alive. He's like, ugh, the mafia, the family, you're gonna experience hell. Well, Phaeton cut his head right off, said family. What is that? You know, so clearly we see the ruthless nature of the Phantom Troop. We see the qualifications of the Phantom Troop, right? You gotta be at least ruthless. At least ruthless. And what happens is that the next scene we see is of Kurapika and Melody, and they're watching as all these mafia guys storm the building. They inform the leader. The leader tells them to go inside there and check out what's going on. They go inside, and they find out that all the guests have disappeared, and all the stuff in the safe is all gone. And what happens is that the leader, he tells Kurapika and Melody to converge and let's all meet up and figure out what the hell's going on, because, you know, the guy is the mafia way. And at the same time, we get a scene of Uvo, and basically it's Nobunaga, Uvogin, Shizuku, Phaeton, Machi, Franklin, and the other two guys. I'm not too sure what their names are, but basically they're in this hot air balloon, and Uvogin is notifying Lucifer about what the hell just happened. And apparently, the safe that they were targeting was empty when they got there. And then Uvogin makes a claim that we have a traitor amongst us, since there is no way, because since the timing was too perfect. And then Lucifer explains how probably not, because, you know, we are people who have no ties to that community, and we have no reason to have any, you know, glory or any fame from that, because we are thieves. We take what we want. It's that simple. And then Lucifer makes the deduction, after a lot of analysis, he makes the deduction that there is someone who could predict about what happened during the auction, but they weren't too sure, which is the reason as to why there was no warning when it came to a majority of the people who were there. That's why there was no enhanced security. That's why there was no notification to any of the boss leaders that there was going to be a raid on the auction. So that's why he makes the assumption that there was someone who knew about it but wasn't too sure, and that's why one of the leaders of the Dons, they sent this guy called the Shadow. Well, he's one of the Shadow Beasts, and he was called the Owl. He has the same type of nen that Shizuku has, and he went in there, took all the stuff in the in the safe, and then he walked out, and then the entire safe was empty. And then, because Uvogin explained about like the whole entire 10 Dons and the Shadow Beast, and that's when Lucifer makes the deduction that he took all the stuff, and how they knew that, and how someone knew that they were going to be raided during the auction. And what happens is that he tells Uvogin to make a scene so we can attract the Shadow Beast, and they do so. What happens here is some crazy shit, because their hot air balloon falls down into like a desert portion, and then what happens is that the mafia corner, quote unquote corner the Phantom Troop, and Uvogin's like, yo, bros, let me do this, let me handle this shit, I got this, and the best part, well, one of the best parts is when Uvogin and this one random mafia guy, they walk up to each other. The mafia guy points a gun at his head. He's like, yo, did you take the guess? Uvogin's like, yeah. He's like, and then the guy's like, who do you think you are? Who's your leader? And Uvogin has like the funniest face line. He's like, yo, this dude was straight up smirking. The guy got pissed off, shot him in the face. But Uvogin caught the bullet between his teeth. He's like, I was like, yeah! And the crazy, yo, this motherfucker Uvogin, he said, nigga, fuck you. Went straight, and his head went like this, and it was like, yo, the dude is dead. But he tops off by grabbing his skull and completely crushing his face in with his bare hands. And then Uvogin goes on a fucking tear. He goes on a fucking tear for the longest. And then more mafia guys start coming in there, and it's not doing shit. The bodies keep on piling up. Finally, actually no, later on what happens is that he gets shot by the sniper. Uvogin grabs the rock. He's like, yeah, straight up peg, and the rock straight up hits this dude in the face, went right through his skull. One of the best parts in that entire episode, when he grabs the rock and he throws it at the dude, and the dude gets completely obliterated. His face is gone, and Uvogin's like, yeah, bullseye. I was like, you know, these fuckers are crazy. And then comes the guy with the bazooka. After the bodies are piled up, and around the same time, we see Kurapika and the leader of the Nosferatus gang, you know, and Basho and Melody, and you know, like they finally reach the destination. The guy gets shot with the bazooka, and then Uvogin, he's like, well, basically, like before that, he said a bazooka to you know, well, basically, like, the guy was saying how the bazooka could like take down a tank, and Uvogin was like, that's kind of sad, comparing me to a tank. And then he blocks the bazooka, and the guys start running away. He's like, no one's escaping. He starts running in there, starts killing all these people. And then what happens is that we see Kurapika, and they're watching, and they're watching the shit go down. And then Melody hears something. She hears something, and then she turns around. They all turn around, and then they see some weird, slimy ass dude come out of the ground. And apparently he's a shadow beast. He is known as the Worm. And then 3 more shadow beasts come out of nowhere. The rabbit dog, the porcupine, and Leech. And they all start walking down like badasses, like geez, like we run this show, and then they're gonna face off against Uvogin. Little do they know that Uvogin is Phantom Troop. And Phantom Troop, you don't want to fuck with. Ever. So that right there is the end of the episode 43. Now, overall, again, a very good episode of Hunter x Hunter 2011 anime. Very good, very good. The pacing was nice and smooth throughout the entire episode. Again, like I said before, when we see, and the animation was on point, but the way they animated that one scene with Shizuku and Bese, when we see her running and the slow motion and the holy and like that holy opera music, and then we see her like the slow motion, and it gets dark and grim, and we see her lunging at her, and then we see the connection between the vacuum and her skull. You know, like it was very well done, very well done. And also, I gotta give props to Uvogin's voice actor. I think he's the same guy who does Charku and Bleach, but he pulls it off very well. He's not that loud, but he's very cocky, and it's like, you know, he's like like all this shit. So I like it, you know. He pulls it off very well. I like that. Then again, in my opinion, the other voice actor in the original one was like better, because he was like, you know, he was like loud and, you know, run and crazy shit. But you know, like he was still very good. I'm also looking forward to seeing the other Shadow Beast. No, not Shadow Beast. The other Phantom Troop fight. You know, I want to see Fate and Fighting. Fate and Fighting will take, you know, that'll happen like towards the future. Like if you read the manga, you know when he fights. But I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Oh yeah, and one last thing. a lot of people make the claim that that this series has, you know, very little blood. Yeah, they are completely fucking wrong. I mean, that was the pool of blood. I mean, yeah, it's true that this series is not very realistic because, like, in the old one, like when we saw Killua rip out that guy's heart and we see him holding the heart in his hand, an actual beating heart, and he crushes it. And in this series, it's more like, yeah, well, here's your heart in like a shirt bag thing. But, I mean, it's good in blood. This series is good in blood. The blood content, it's there. No one can say it's not there. It's definitely there. However, when it comes to like eyeballs being like ripped out of your socket and beating hearts come out of your chest and shit, and arms here and bones there, you know, that stuff, it's not really there in this series. The blood is there, but the body parts and the gore and the organs, yeah, that stuff is not there. But whatever, either way, it's still really good. So overall, this episode of Hunter x Hunter was a very good episode of Hunter x Hunter. Nice pacing, good animation, great OST. The ending of this the ending of this shit is, I love the ending, man. Hunting for your dream, that shit is awesome. So I'll see you guys later. King of Lightning, and I will see you guys for Hunter x Hunter episode 44 on Saturday or Sunday. Peace. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Have a nice day. I'm signing off.